As we rediscovered that the area viewed Judean desert, this is the biblical Ezra 1:3. Let us go up to Jerusalem, which is located in the land of Judah. So, in order to cross from the black man's face upon a lion's body in front of the Isaiah 1919 Giza pyramids, Giza area, we cross from Giza along the across the Euphrates River. We're going up to the Gaza Strip. Now, this is where the Judean desert and black men, or the African Sphinx line of Judah, of Genesis 49, chapter 8, verse, geographic land surface begins in northeast Africa. Now remember, what we call Arabia today, after you cross from Giza across the Euphrates River, and before the flood of Noah, it was a part of the northeast geographic land surface before it separated, before northeast Africa separated into Arabia. So this is why the same terminology or name used for black African in the Bible is Ham, Cush, and Canaan. And so when we look at the kingdoms of Ham, we see that it incorporates all the steppe pyramids in the Middle East, all the steppe pyramids in Northeast Africa. This is called the steppe pyramid East civilization of Mesopotamia. Now, the archaeologists would like to refer to it as black Canaanite, but they don't use the word black, but yet Canaanite is a part of the descendants of black Ham. So another word for Africans is Ham, or Hamitic steppe pyramid East civilization, Cush, or Kushite kingdoms. Now remember, we're talking about the first normal shape-headed African Adam of Genesis 2:7, populating the entire African continent from north to south. And so if we ever view the the African continent with satellite imagery, we must first draw 12 east to west lines across Africa from north to south. Then view it with satellite imagery, we will see nothing but African tribes living in each of the 12 geographic land surface lines. Now this brings us into the terminology in which I originally called the 12 African continent tribes, in which the Gizasphinx, or line of Judah, of Genesis 49:8, ruled over in the ancient times. Now, when the 16th century appointed King James of England and 72 Greek and Hebrew scholars traveled to Judea and Jerusalem to study the Islamic Aramaic Dead Sea Scrolls, they illegally changed the name of the 12 African continent tribes and theological racism into the book of Psalms, 105th chapter, 23rd verse, 12 sons of Jacob, or so-called 12 sons of Jacob. But remember, the so-called 12 sons of Jacob in Psalms, the book of Psalms, 105th chapter, 23rd verse, is reported to have had left that black African Hamitic steppe pyramid East civilization of Babylon. So the book of Psalms says 12 sons of Jacob left Babylon, left their father Jacob in Babylon. So this is all black African. Remember, another word for Babylon, Akkad, even Haran. To see where Abraham left Haran and traveled to Canaan. So when we say Canaan, is black African descendants of Ham from the book of Genesis. When we're talking about Mesopotamia or Babylon, we're talking about ancient steppe pyramid blocks. 5 blocks stacked on top of one another on the left and right side that they form a step that you walk upon. So this is the black African steppe pyramid East civilizations of Ham. Now, the black African steppe pyramid East civilization of Ham, ancient Canaanite ruins appears in the Judean desert. Now, when you look at this steppe pyramid, I have white square and a white rectangle. The Sphinx is in the white square, and this is the area of the Judean desert steppe pyramid E temple ruins. So when we go back to the Dome of the Rock outer wall in which supposed to go to the dome, we see, if we walk around that wall, we'll see stone rectangular window frames, and in each stone rectangular window frame, we'll see 5 blocks stacked on top of one another on the left and right side that they form a step that you walk upon. But in the Dome of the Rock window is 2 steppe pyramids connected at their bases. This gives us the north, south, east, and west geographic coordinate vector to the octagonal equatorial roof of the area of the Dome of the Rock, which is also given an area where the African continent on the North Pole concentrically viewed Mercator map projection appears halfway level in the lower section of the Dome rock outer wall in which supports the Golden Dome Stellar Pyramid E image. Well, therefore, uh, Judah in the Bible, were in the mistranslated European King James Bible lie, Judah was concealed. Uh, this is the African face upon a lion's body, a man's face upon a lion's body, that's connected to the 4 feet tall, big black, oval-shaped eye, wielding the world like UFO aliens that originally created the first elongated headed African Adam of Genesis 1:26, and which no longer exists upon the surface of planet Earth. So as we see that the Jerusalem foundation stone inside the octagonal building structure on the floor area, when we magnify that foundation stone, we see additional aliens of Ezekiel's glowing, willing with like UFOs, and Gizasphinxjudaen face image amongst planets. You'll see that image here. So we have rediscovered that the Arab-View Judean desert is all about the black African or Northeast African continent lying things of the tribe of Judah. So the same stellar pyramids of Black Ham or the Hamitic stellar pyramid E civilizations is now appearing in the Judean desert. So when the Bible, mistranslated King James Bible, European Bible lines refer to a European male figure called Jehovah, or even the bearded image of Jesus. Both are false European Lord God man-based world religion images, because the aliens that created man stand about 4 feet tall. They have big black oval-shaped eyes, 3 fingers and 1 thumb on each hand, and no penis or vagina. In fact, they have smooth skin between their legs where a woman's vagina would be. So this is the God is not a man category in which the alien creators of man and Ezekiel's glowing, willing and will like your foes falls into. Well, that means that the book of Zechariah speaks of the rough goat. Speaks of the children of Greece as the enemies of Jerusalem, or the Ethiopian African continent lying thanks to the tribe of Judah. And today, we see Greece, Rome, and Great Britain taking over Africa and controlling all of the 80% of the African continent gold, oil, and diamond resources. And so, as we rediscover that the biblical Northeast African lion thinks in front of the Isaiah 19:19 Giza pyramids of Judah was the chief focus of the Jerusalem Temple Mount, as the book of Genesis 2:7 speaks of normal shape-headed Africans, or the African Adamic race, populating the entire African continent from north to south.